All right. Looks like we're live. We are live, man. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Kid Smooth, aka the best bot, and I got a good friend here with me. I actually don't think we've been in a chat, at least in a while. I think we might have done something before.
Yeah,
But
we fucked around with some Nintendo shit a long
yeah.
time ago. But yeah. What's going on, fellas? The Steeler here, back again with Kiss Move.
All right. So I've been sitting around and mainly pretty much this happened before E3, the talks of like, is it worth having an Xbox? And obviously after E3, and I've been sitting around watching people make decisions like get rid of their Xbox in order to either to build or buy a PC, or people, downplay the Xbox because the existence of a PC. And I was like, we can debate about this for hours. We really can. But I gotta ask you. I really gotta ask you. Because you have a gaming PC, I have a gaming PC. I know others who have a gaming PC. And the thing is about us, we both have both a gaming PC and an Xbox, which people
We
say,
have the perspective that a lot of people are curious about.
yeah, and people say it doesn't make sense for us to have that. People think it makes more sense to have a PS4 and a PC versus an Xbox and a PC. So
Oh, that's a non-contest.
yeah. So I got you.
But they also do have a point because you're getting games you can't get on PC versus another console that you can get one game for the price of two and play it anywhere. I definitely see both sides. And before people go nuts in the comments, we're not just going to shit all over PC. We both play on PC and we both have X1s, but we always gravitate back towards the console. And there's a few things that a lot of people are just not talking about. Reasons that, especially you competitive players, do not want to flock to PC for unless you really plan on getting used to a different environment and mouse and keyboard. But anyways, we'll get into that here in a minute.
I don't know, just a good way. You know what I mean? To start off is just getting right into the meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
So let's just go at it. Why should you not? Why should you not sell your Xbox in favor of PC gaming?
All right. I'll take the charge on this one. And keep in mind, I was gaming on PC back when I had a 360 before the X1 even came out. I got tired of waiting for the next generation, like so many people. So I delved into gaming PC, and it was a capable PC. I actually just upgraded it. But basically, one of the big things you're going to notice when you get a PC, at least without the existence of Scorpio, is you're going to be wowed by the graphics and 60 frames on everything. Obviously, that's common sense. But what you're quickly going to find out is games like Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, unless you're planning on getting used to mouse and keyboard, you're going to get dominated. And you'll hear this from other people in the community that aren't even on the same side as maybe me or Kid Smooth in this whole console thing. They'll tell you the same thing. Controllers on PC, 98% of games do not support aim assist. And even if they did, you're going to get dominated by mouse and keyboard, one-to-one accuracy. I was getting sniped by pistols from across the map. And it was just, I couldn't enjoy it. And, you can say that's player skill, you can say what you can, but I do notice that controller versus controller, everyone's on the same playing field there, and it's just night and day. I can be very competitive. It's in my home environment. I just feel right there at home. And, that also leads into people saying, well, mouse and keyboard coming to Xbox and potentially PlayStation at some point. That is true, but I do believe that they're going to separate those servers, or you can choose to play versus who you want. Whereas on PC, you cannot do that right now. So if you're thinking about going to PC, just plan on getting used to mouse and keyboard or getting dominated. And some of the best guys will tell you the same. It's just simply the facts. What about you, Kid? What's your reason for not going?
Well, I mean, the thing is that there's a difference when you're gaming on console and you're gaming on PC. If you're a performance whore and you really, you have to have like the high resolutions, you have to have that, you have to play it at 60 frames per second. And by the way, there's been research done that PC, like 95% of PC gamers are playing under 4K, like it's generally like 1080p or below. But my thing is that the games that are popular, the games that we all find popular now, like on consoles, like believe it or not, our Call of Duties and our Gears of Wars, our Madden. Well, that's not even on PC. Those games, the popular games on consoles, aren't popular on PC at all. Like the multiplayer. I don't know if you've like played Battlefront or if you played Battlefront on PC. Gorgeous, gorgeous game, especially with the mods and everything. But there is nobody to play with it. It's abandoned. It's Desert Storm. It's like there's nothing.
And to be clear, you're talking about the most recent Star Wars Battlefront, correct?
Yes, the most recent, newest one. Yep.
Yeah. And that game runs very efficiently. It looks great. And to the console's defense, they look, to me, very similar, except for the AA and of course some of the particle effects off of the sparks. But yeah, the community on PC is noticeably smaller, and it's harder to find matches on there already.
Yes, and it gets like that with all popular multiplayer games that are like the popular games that are popular on consoles. And most people, you're thinking about it, is like, I'm sure you got a bunch of friends on Xbox when you're playing online and stuff. There's still not enough games that are cross-play, and even when they are cross-play, obviously they're going to separate some of the servers on some of these games. Even with Gears of War.
No, it's not because PC players know the fucking game is trash. Let's bitch smack that comment out of the fucking comment section right now. Stop saying that dumb shit. Come down to earth. It's because the fucking community's smaller. You've got a smaller player base. That is a fact. All right, so let's stop saying the bullshit. Come down to earth with us. Let's stick to facts.
Yes.
Anyway, sorry.
That's all right. It's all right. I knew it was coming somewhere. But the thing about it is that these the games like in cross-play, I don't know how long it's going to take for cross-play to properly like take off, and that's why I can't support the idea of like, all right, I'm going to get rid of my Xbox because all the games that I want for Xbox is also going to PC, and I can just better play them at better performance. And I'm like, well, that's the case. Sure, I can play all those games with a controller, but if I can't play, but not if I'm playing against the dudes that are using a keyboard and mouse. You know, people be like, "Well, get good, then get better with it." And I'm like, "Well, no, I like, I prefer playing on controller since the."
And it's the same way for mouse and keyboard guys. If they get a controller, they don't know what they're doing. Obviously, you're out of your element. But 1-to-1, best controller versus best keyboard, and they've done competitions like this. The keyboard guy crushes every time. So it is what it is.
I mean, I guess in the only games it really doesn't affect are like racing games, and I think maybe like third-person games, like action third-person, like a game like The Division. I don't know how much of an impact it will have.
Yeah,
but like,
I mean, from what I'm seeing, man,
like
even
first-person shooters, definitely.
Yeah. Even in any shooter, pretty much, and really, like I said, it's a 1-to-1 accuracy. And you're right, Dreadhead. PC gaming, Xbox Live is free. That's an issue that a lot of people are struggling with. Why should I go to Xbox when I get the same online for? But really, we don't know how that works, because to get those Play Anywhere games, you've got to buy them on your Xbox One digitally first to get the other Windows 10 version for free. You can't buy it on PC and get the Xbox version for free. That's not how it works. You've got to buy it on your Xbox. I don't know if you need Xbox Live to play cross-platform. We don't know how any of that works right now. So you're right, it is free on PC right now in terms of Xbox Live, and that's something that I think we're going to hear a lot more about in the next year in regard to how that works.
But the thing about it is that with crossplay or without crossplay with PC gaming, all the online, I mean, it's going to be free to play online. The thing is, there's still features that you get on Xbox on the console version that you don't get on your PC version with the Xbox Live. So there's no like games with gold. There's no deals with gold. I mean, but people will argue, well, you got the Steam sales and whatnot. But I don't know. I prefer Xbox achievements over Steam achievements.
Yeah. Like I was playing The Witcher. I was playing The Witcher the other day, man, and I can't even. It's gorgeous at 60 frames. I'm running it almost ultra on a 2.4 T-flop card at 1080-60. And so you can only imagine how these things are going to look at 6 T-flops, 980 Ti, GTX 1070 level. I just can't get into it because the achievements aren't there. And, maybe I'm just an asshole, but that's how I work. So I definitely hear you there. The achievements raise kind of the value of the game for me.
Yeah, and the other thing that now there's nothing wrong with going to PC gaming and playing games on PC. My thing is getting rid of one of your sources of gaming in order to get to PC gaming. Here's the thing: when I built my PC, the first thing was like, when I had all three, I had my Xbox, I had my PlayStation, and I had my PC. And people were like, "Oh, you should get rid of the Xbox because you already have like the PlayStation and you got the PC and all this stuff." And I'm like, "Here's the thing: I have over 170 games installed on my Xbox. I am not giving up my catalog just because a handful of games in the future are coming to the PC that are also going to be on my Xbox. It makes no sense to do that."
Yeah. Yeah, it really doesn't. And you know, you do have Steam sales and stuff over there. Trust me, we know. All right, we both have taken part in them many times. We've hoarded ourselves out to Valve, and we loved every second of it with Steam sales. It's not like we don't know what the fuck you're talking about. All right, Steam sales are amazing, but really, Steam sales are irrelevant because if I want to buy a game, I can go to other sites and get the same price or cheaper all year round. I don't have to wait for a Steam sale. But yeah, Steam sales are great. To consoles credits, they're getting better. Both PlayStation and Xbox, as I covered yesterday, are getting better with their sales. But yeah, Steam sales are incredible. Trust me, we're not trying to fuck with that. And we're not trying to say PC versus Xbox. We're trying to tell you what really no one else in the community is talking about. Why maybe you should consider staying with a console if you're a console dude, and why maybe you should get a PC. We're going to get to why maybe you should go to a PC here soon. So, you know, some of you guys calm the fuck down. Jesus Christ.
And the other thing is, this is along a different argument, right? You know how people argue that, because Xbox has no exclusives, it's not the gaming platform to have, or this is why it's not selling, or et cetera, et cetera. My issue with that is that Nintendo, I think, has the most exclusives possible, right? All they get is exclusive because they don't get third-party support. And they're not selling much of anything. Mostly every game that you can find on your Xbox, that you can find on your PlayStation, besides the games that are only on PlayStation, you can find on PC. Exclusives are not the reason people are buying a console or a PC. It's honestly games preference. You of course you'll need the initial exclusive to lure them in. You only need is like a franchise or two. But at the end of the day, you can look at the numbers yourself. Find me one exclusive, other than like some of the Halo games that are outselling third-party games on a particular platform. Mm-hmm. There's not one PlayStation exclusive that is selling better than a third-party game only on a PlayStation game. That's like, for example, the top-selling PlayStation game is a non-exclusive. It's a multiplayer game. The highest game selling on PlayStation is a non-exclusive. Same goes for Xbox. I think Halo 5 will be in the top 3 of the highest selling game on the Xbox One currently. Not Halo 3. Halo 5 is there, but when it comes to the PlayStation, you have to count 5, 6, 7 games before you get to a PlayStation exclusives as far as top selling games. So let's be clear: exclusives aren't the reason you buy whatever console. It may be for a certain individual, but not the mass.
Yeah. And Muhammad, you can tell this guy's a diehard Sony dick licker right here. We're trying to be reasonable here, okay? We could shit all over you guys or some of you guys that are being assholes if we wanted. But what we're saying is you're basically saying no need for another 720p box, right? Well, both consoles have had games confirmed at 720p, like Magnetic Cage Closed was confirmed to be running at 720p on PS4. Even though that game got delayed, the devs have said that's where it's going to be at. Killzone Shadowfall multiplayer. I didn't hear you complaining then because you didn't even know what you were playing because you need Digital Foundry to tell you what you're playing. All right, so let's just drop the 720p bullshit. The reality situation is when Neo and Scorpio come out, both the PS4 and X1 are going to be running most everything at 720p in 2 or 3 years, because they're going to scale the res down to keep the games looking good and, get the Scorpio and Neo versions looking as best as possible. And that's just how technology works. It's not because the technology sucks more and more. It's because the engines and the effects and graphics get more and more demanding. So in regard to that, yeah, that's just how it's going to be. But in regard to the exclusives, I mean, there are people that say Xbox One isn't selling. I don't know what kind of crack you're smoking. Xbox One is destroying the 360 and PS3 right now in its life cycle. According to the same point in their life cycle, it will go on to be one of the most successful consoles of all time, believe it or not. Games like Halo 5 sold 1.8 million physical in the first 3 months, right?
Yes.
No, it was overall, and it sold 5 million in the first 3 months, according to Frank O'Connor, right? So it sold about 3 million digital. So that game was not a flop, and that was at a time where the console was only at a 15 million install base, according to some of these sources. So the X1 is doing great. I think the sales are just understated. Quantum Break, we don't really know how well that's done. It did over 200,000 physical, according to one source in the U.S. And if we just go off of the ratios per digital, I would say that game probably did around 900,000, which still isn't great. But Microsoft did confirm it was the fastest selling new IP on Xbox One. That's more than Rise or Sunset Overdrive. Those games both clocked over a million. So I think that it did better than most people think. And if you're the kind of person that kind of gets joy out of a game not selling well, you're probably a child, to be honest with you. And that's your own problem. It's going to take some time for you to get some hair on your balls. I don't know what to tell you. But we're just coming here basically talking about some things that no one else is really talking about in the community. Why maybe you should keep Xbox or go PC. Uh, and what were we talking about earlier? What was your other reason for maybe sticking with Xbox besides just the achievements and things like that?
No, I was talking about like because the games that are popular on consoles that might have been your favorite aren't going to be as big on PC because you're not just going to suddenly start playing with all the people that you were playing with on console. You're going to be playing on like the PC like platform, and it's going to be it's not going to be as populated. It's not going to be as much going on. Some of the best games on consoles aren't that popular on PC at all, and it's a shame in some cases. And and everybody's like, well, all these Xbox exclusives are going over there, and it's like, okay, well, so you're going to build a PC or you're going to buy a PC. Now the thing is, it's not a problem having a PC, but it's when you're building a capable PC. The thing that drives me nuts is when people come up with those potato mashers. They'll look up for a budget PC, right, that you can build to run these games. And my thing is, what's the point of building a PC that's capable of what the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 do? I don't want to. Who wants to do that? You might as well just keep the console. If that's the case, instead of like building something that's obviously more than capable, so you don't have to do any significant upgrades in the future, so you can run some of the 2017, 2018 exclusives that come out in the future that you feel would be much better appreciated on the PC.
And that's the thing, man. If you want to upgrade too, that's what Scorpio's for. And people are already trying to shit on it, and I do not understand it. That's a GTX 980 Ti or more, actually, because the console's closed environment. You can get more out of any piece of hardware. It's got more rigs than a GTX 980 Ti. It's just going to be amazing, and you're going to be able to run everything 1080 60 ultra settings, no problem with the Scorpio. And that's going to be more than enough for pretty much anyone that sees these games. So, I mean, yeah, you get what you got now. All your accessories come over, your games come over. I just don't see the negative. If you got the funds and you want the options, there you go.
I said this on a podcast before that the Scorpio is going to be either on par or the closest thing you're going to get to a 1070 at a lower cost. It's like if you don't want to build a PC, if you want to build a PC, right, with like a card of like the 1070, you want it to be up to date. You know what I mean? The Scorpio is going to be cheaper, and you're going to get similar performances.
Yeah, and that's the perfect way to segue into why maybe you should stay with PC. You know, people that already have gaming PCs, buy an RX 480 for $200, 5.5 T flops, amazing, and you get the option to upgrade whenever you want, however the fuck you want. You want to gold plate that bitch with some diamonds? Sure, go. You don't have a glass ceiling, you don't have any kind of ceiling, you're good to go. But for people on consoles, the number one thing for me is to consider the online competitiveness and the fact that you will need mouse and keyboard to fully enjoy yourself online. And I don't know why anyone would protest that. That's like a universal thing that people know. And secondly, if you don't have a PC, yes, it's going to be cheaper overall. to get the motherboard case, GPU, CPU, a controller, potentially, who knows, your whole backlog of games, your headset you already have, it's going to be cheaper to game on Scorpio. And I don't know why anyone would protest that either. So, yeah,
I
you're
don't.
right. It definitely is if you've already got a console, but if you got a PC and you've got a 960 right now, yeah, spend $200 instead of buying the $500 Scorpio. It's simple math.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't think it makes sense for anybody to sell their Xbox for PC gaming. My thing is, if you're already a PC gamer and you're that's what you're like primary, that's what you primarily game on, and everything else is secondary, then yeah, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time getting an Xbox. You know what I mean? There's people who are not gaming on PC or naturally playing on PC, and it's like, all right, so you're going to sell your Xbox to play on a new platform. Then it becomes senseless.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I enjoy having both. I feel like I said, I feel like if I got rid of my Xbox, something would be missing. I haven't found it out other than my library of games. Something still would be missing that I would require. I play comfortably on both. Last I checked, Halo 5 have yet to make it over to the PC. And if it did, I'd probably still opt to play it on the consoles, at least multiplayer-wise.
Yeah. And some people are wondering what the price of the Scorpio will be. Of course, the price is key. If Microsoft don't nail this, they're fucked. And you know what? If they don't nail it, they deserve to fail with this. But I do believe that they'll come in around $500. There's no reason for them to charge you more for this than $500. They're buying millions and millions of components, getting discounts that way. You're getting 5.5 T flops on the PC side at $199. And that's at the consumer scale. So if Microsoft buy millions of cards like this, they're not paying $199. They're paying maybe $140, $120.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just how it works, and that's how it works with every big industry. If Ford, the auto manufacturer, sources a Sony sound system, which they do, the Shaker audio system, they're buying that by the millions, and they're not paying what a consumer would pay for the same parts. So yeah, I do believe it'll come under $500, and price is key. And why would people have both? Well, for one, if you've got a big tower, a PC tower, you're probably not going to be lugging that everywhere, right? I mean, have you ever lugged your big PC case anywhere?
No.
All right. I mean, I don't know how many times I've taken my Xbox somewhere, and I guarantee you the Scorpio is going to be no bigger than the X1, or even smaller. It's definitely. I mean, as you've seen with the X1 Slim, that is the console that they would have come out with at launch. Had they not rushed the Xbox One. I mean, both of these consoles were rushed. I mean, the X1 didn't even have friends list notifications at launch. The PS4 couldn't stream stuff. It couldn't play audio CDs. I don't even know if it still can play audio CDs. Obviously, there are things that they're adding constantly, even every month. So, I mean, they can do better, and they will do better, and that's my belief. I think the Scorpio is going to be a great console for people that want to see actual next-generation graphics.
Yeah, like I said, if I was going to sell my Xbox, it wouldn't be to continue gaming on PC. It would be to get the Scorpio. That's the only way. Like I'm holding, like I'm a holder. I'm not going to get the Xbox One S because I really don't need it. But when a Scorpio comes in, that's when I would probably only consider getting rid of my Xbox One. And the thing is about the Scorpio. And all the talk about it is everybody like, oh, it's going to fail. Oh, I don't know why they're doing it. Everybody had a lot to say about the Scorpio and realize it doesn't exist yet. And like, I don't understand that. I really don't. All we know about the Scorpio is that it's going to do 4K gaming and is going to have 6 teraflops of graphical computing, whatever. So we know the GPU power, and that is going to do 4K resolution. That's it. That's pretty much it. I mean, there's some other stuff in here and there, but if you listen to the wording, there was like starting at or more than. So the numbers we were seeing weren't the actual numbers. It could be more than those numbers. So I'm keeping my mouth shut until next E3 on Scorpio. But a lot of people pretty much have a lot to say about it, why it's going to fail, and it's too confusing. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna go off what Microsoft told us. I'm not one to claim, I've never been a DX12 cultist or any of that bullshit. The cloud, none of that. And what I'm gonna do is say it's 6 T-flops total, counting every single part in that fucking box. Phil Spencer's already said it's 4.5 times the power of the Xbox One total in different interviews. I think it's gonna be 6 T-flops. And for those, we're gonna have people saying you can't game in 4K with 6 T-flops. That's bullshit because I've gamed in 4K with a 980 Ti, which is not 6 T-flops, and that's not even in a closed environment like a console is going to have. It didn't even have as much RAM either, which is even better for 4K gaming at 12 gigs. So, of course, you can game in 4K on a Scorpio. Now, whether or not that's 30 frames 4K high or whatever, however they're going to do it, it's possible. So let's just get that out of the way now. But I definitely hear you. Consoles have a place for console guys. That's why you see me on the console every day, even though my PC looks and runs better. That's just where I want to be. And for any console guy that's never gamed on a PC that are just now thinking about switching over, this is literally the worst time to switch over because you're getting a console that's very capable for the first time ever. You're getting some real next generation shit here.
Yeah, we're at the what you call that peaking point where the console starts to peak and they start fully taking advantage of what they're able to do. Now, like I said, PC, if you're all about performance, then yeah, sure, PC is the way to go. But if you're a console gamer and that's what you've been doing, there's really no need. You know what I mean? I still think I have to have my Xbox. I have to have. I don't have to have a PC. My PC, believe it or not, I feel like even though my PC is capable of so much, I treat it as a computer. You know what I mean? My Xbox I treat as a gaming device.
Yeah. They failed to listen. Fuckface. Maybe you should think for a second, buddy. Okay, we're not on PC. 2.6 megahertz or gigahertz is much more effective on a console than it's going to be on a PC. You don't have 70 background tasks running all at once, and you don't know what the fuck any of them are doing, for one. And two, a good CPU, a good one, a decent one, is only going to be about 1/10 of a T-flop in total overall performance at full load. So don't come at me with this full fucking 2.6 bullshit, okay? Jesus Christ, get the fuck out of here. Anyway.
All right. Oh, he said, Blood Dragon said, Kids Move, we're not average consumers. Give us economical reasons. Economical reasons to not go with a PC.
No, we're not trying to convince you either way. We're telling you the benefits that we see. This is all opinion.
I'm sorry, but gaming on a console, at least coming in, it's going to be automatically cheaper. Say right now, you can walk into a store, and I'm not saying to get it used, or I'm not going to talk about get a secondhand console like people tell you to do with PC parts. You can walk into a store, get a new Xbox, maybe at what was it, $279 for 500 gigs if you needed that, or $300 for 1 terabyte or something like that. And I'm not even talking about the slim. I'm talking about the base model Xbox, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fortunately, the only extra cost that you have it comes with one controller, right? The only extra cost you really have to incur is getting Xbox Live. And most consoles, when you buy a console, they give you 2 weeks of Xbox Live Gold free. When you got Xbox Live Gold free, you generally your console pretty much comes with whatever the games with gold games are for that month and the bundle game that's already there. So you already got yourself a decent library to start off with at about $300 for an Xbox. People will tell you how cheap it is for PC gaming. Yeah, that's over time, and that's the long haul of it. Startup of a PC, you have to build a PC. Yeah, the thing about PC, you have so many options of what kind of PC you want to build, what you want your benchmarks to be and whatnot. But the thing is, if you're not going to build a PC that's capable of anything, you know what I mean? I don't want to hear about a potato masher or anything that's $300 that is running that's running nothing at freaking, I could get 1080p at minimum settings. I mean, no, I don't want that. I want something comparable that's worth here. This is welcome to the master race. You're not doing that. You're not doing that under $600 when you got graphic cards that are $600. You know what I mean? So, I mean, now with the future of graphic cards, hopefully this remains the trend where graphic cards become cheaper. But at the end of the day, it's gonna cost you. It's gonna be heavy on your pockets to build a gaming PC. You know, it's even more to buy a gaming PC because they pretty much rape you because they assume you don't know how to shop around. But build it is always going to be more expensive. Now, when it comes to gaming, yes, okay, there's gonna be discounts everywhere because you can buy your games at multiple sites. You can get them from CD Keys. You can get them from like the G2, whatever you just said.
G2A.com, yeah.
You got so many options to get games from, and that's what brings down the prices of these PC these PC games. Which I will say all the time, when it comes to the cost of games, the cost of games, PC's the way to go. Unfortunately, coming up with the money for hardware, that's where it becomes a little bit of a problem. Now, think about half the reasons why people want to get rid of their Xbox or talk about getting a PC over an Xbox is for the Xbox exclusives. Now, this is where the story changes. Sure, third-party games and stuff like that, Star Wars, your Rise in the Rooms and all that other stuff, all the other games, sure, get them cheaper and whatnot. But the Xbox exclusives are not going to be on these sites that you're finding like CD Keys, and no, you're not going to find them. You have to get them for the store that everybody hates, the Windows store, and they're going to be $60. Like,
well, even if they're on Steam, yeah, it's going to be. I mean,
yeah, I guarantee you it'll be a while before any of those games appear on Steam. Matter of fact, the only game that will, I guarantee you, the only game that will appear on Steam that's an Xbox exclusive will be like the third-party games like Dead Rising 4. And stuff like that. If it's a Microsoft first-party exclusive, it's not going to Steam. And if it does, it's going to be like 6 months to a year later when it doesn't really matter anymore, or after it's been exhausted already. So this is where people got to calm down. Like right now, the PC games I have, I've been enjoying the sales off like games like The Division I got for $30. Street Fighter 5 got for like $27 when it came out. That. Beautiful, but when it comes and everybody's argument now is the Xbox exclusive. I can get Forza on Xbox and stuff. Yeah, sure, it's gonna be $60 just like the rest of us peasants. Like you're gonna have to do that. You know what I mean? That's where some of the benefits are gonna go away if you're trying to do it mainly for Xbox games, because the benefits that you have with gaming overall on PC are pretty much more good if you're going for like the third-party games like a Doom or something like that, because you can get them anywhere. Xbox games you won't be able to get anywhere like that, so that kind of eliminates that benefit.
That's true. That's true as of right now. Yeah, that's true as of right now. Who knows what they'll do? I think eventually they'll go to Steam. I think they're using. Phil actually said this. He said they're using Windows kind of to iron out their own problems and figure things out. And he said he talks to Gabe Newell all the time. Of course they do. They had talked about games on Steam, but for right now, they're using things like Gears Ultimate to iron out problems. And I agree with T-Bell here in the comments. He said, there's a higher startup cost to PC gaming, but in the long run, when you're talking about buying $400 or $500 consoles every 4 years, yeah, it's probably cheaper on PC if you don't upgrade your hardware that much. Me, I like to upgrade my shit. So I don't know. It's kind of like crack once you get started. But regardless, yeah, it's definitely a higher startup cost, but probably cheaper in the long run, depending on. But then again,
I think the only thing that really balances, the only thing that really kind of comes off as like is the fact that when you're on consoles, you have to pay a monthly subscription to play online. That's where it becomes the PC automatically trumps that. But as far as getting games for sales and cheap, games are appearing on Xbox and PlayStation for extremely cheap. Alien, like I said, Isolation on the week. Alien Isolation was on sale for $5, $4 on Xbox. It was still like $15, $20 on PC. You couldn't get it any cheaper than that. And then you still every month, depending on what console you're playing on, you're getting Xbox. You get 4 free games a month with Xbox Live. So yeah, imagine, okay, I could go on Steam and buy like, let's say 7 games for a total of maybe $32 with the Steam sales, but at $50 a year, I can get what's 4 times 12? My math is fucked up right now. You get that in free games a year. So that's why I was like, it kind of balances out at the end of the day.
It kind of does, except for you're not given the choice.
Yeah, you're not given the choice.
I only play 1%, 2%, maybe 5% of those games because I've already bought them, or I'm just not interested. Whereas on PC, really, have you ever been to G2A.com?
I have. I forgot
those
which
games,
game
man. There is no contest with some of the sales and the prices on PC gaming. I mean, you can get Doom for $30, or less than $30. Grand Theft Auto 5, Fallout 4, The Witcher for $17. Like, I understand. I'm not going to argue against that. But of course, G2A doesn't give the money to the publishers either. So it just depends on what you're going for. I'm trying to look at it from both angles. I've been on both sides. I understand it. I understand the appeal. But I also am just a console dude, and I think some people just are, or you just aren't, or you just don't give a fuck, or you're willing to really get good with mouse and keyboard, which I'm just not. That's what it ultimately comes down for me. Yep. But for those on the fence, hold out until Scorpio, and see, and then go do your shit. Go play a friend Scorpio. Fuck, I don't know, but just go try it out. See if you're impressed. See if you're blown away. My money's on you will be highly satisfied with the visuals for the first time on consoles in a very long time.
It's crazy. That I guess, I don't know. Some people enjoy playing on an open platform. Others enjoy playing on a closed platform. With PC, and this is to me, it's a both pro and con. Playing on PC is honestly like playing on PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo console at the same time, because the thing is, well, when you're playing on PC is that with each game, depending on who their publisher is, they each have their platform on PC. So EA games, you got to deal with Origin. With Ubisoft games, you got to deal with Uplay. With obviously with most other games, you can do it through Steam or straight from the store website. And with Xbox games, you got to do through the Windows/Xbox store. But with that, it's like, and this is probably the most babyish argument I can make. It's like when you're playing on PlayStation, you're playing for not only you're playing for the enjoyment of the game and whatnot, but at the end of the day, there's this second drive to get the trophy, whether you want the platinum or you want to get the trophies, and the stat tracking is much better. Same thing with Xbox. You're trying to get that 1,000 gamer score. It's just more social. But when you have games like when you're playing, let's say, EA game, your stats is accredited to Origin, you know what I mean? But your library is not that big on Origin, so it's like less of a bragging right. It's a less of a feel good moment. Yeah, you accomplish something to complete the game, but I feel like there's nothing really to show. Same thing with stuff on Uplay. Steam is the closest thing I can get to the feel of Xbox Live, because Steam it's like the complete package. And then obviously games, the PC games that are on Windows, they all share the whole Xbox experience. So it's likely it feels like you're playing on Xbox, just with better performance, since your record that moments are still there, your achievements are still there, and
but people that aren't into that, they just don't give a shit about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but you believe it or not, there are a lot of people who are that really care about that stuff, and I'm definitely one of them. I know, and looking at these achievement chasers, there's definitely a lot of them.
Yeah, but as the L Web 100 just said, he could give a fuck less about it, and I get it. There are people on Xbox that just don't care about it. So I mean, I know me and you do, obviously, and if you're one of those guys, trust me, you're gonna feel something missing when you're gaming on PC, but maybe you won't. And we're not trying to make it seem like it's harder than it is to get into PC gaming. Of course it's not. You'll spend $700-800 on a rig at Best Buy, $1,000. Of course, you're not going to build your own rig the first time. Who's done that? Maybe 1% of you. Honestly, maybe the first time ever your first rig was built by you. Maybe your second one, of course. But it's easy to get into PC gaming. It's not hard at all. But we're just saying that for those that like controller gaming and things like that and do not like mouse and keyboard, just try it. Just try mouse and keyboard. If you like it, if you're open-minded, maybe you'll like PC gaming. But me, I'm just not into it. As a couple of people said in the comments, I'm just not into PC mouse and keyboard gaming. I'm just not. I love the graphics. I love 60 frames at will. Just not into mouse and keyboard on competitive online. Now you can use a controller, but like I said, it's never worked out for anyone I know.
Yeah, you can use a controller, but the thing is, it's like, I mean, some people are, if you're just more skilled at gaming, you can probably have a fair share against people that are using mouse and keyboard if they're not that great. The thing about it, you mentioned this earlier, you know how they're going to have mouse and keyboard support for the consoles. My question is it going to work the same? Is it going to be as precise? Is it going to be as quick, as responsive, using a mouse and keyboard on a console versus using the mouse and keyboard on PC? That's the
I don't see why it wouldn't. I don't see why it wouldn't be as quick and responsive. I just, I mean, maybe that's them trying to lure some PC guys. Believe it or not, some PC guys are interested in the Scorpio. I get that comment all the time, and that's not, go read my shit. It appeals to more people than Xbox has in a while. To those of you that built your very first PC and you never gamed on a rig before that and you never had a pre one before, good for you. But most people didn't. All right, that's what I'm trying to say. So I understand. Maybe you did it. Cool. I didn't. I don't think Kid Smooth did. I mean, maybe we're just fucking. Of course, we're idiots, right? That's what we're going to get in the comments. But what I'm trying to say is most people are not going to do that. Yeah. Not saying you can't. Of course, you can look up a fucking video or read the instructions.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like for example, when I had all three, when I had my PlayStation, one of the concerns was like, all right, am I going to play my Xbox when my PC got in? But the thing is, what I realized, I played my PlayStation a lot less, and I was playing my.
Don't read the comments, Xbox. Bro. Yes, there are PC gamers interested in Scorpio. In my last few videos, there are people in the comments. Maybe my last 5 videos, people in the comments talking about being interested in Scorpio that are PC gamers. Believe it or not.
The reason why I think there has to be at least a tad bit of interest from PC gamers in the Scorpios because it's probably going to be the cheapest way to get that performance of the newest cards.
Yeah, but Polaris is a game changer. We got to keep that in mind. You're getting 5.5 T-flops for $199. So if you've got a PC, yeah, go for it. But if you don't have a PC, remember you're paying that $199 for less performance automatically and less RAM, right? So the card doesn't have twice the performance or the RAM. You can probably upclock that thing to around 1400, 1450, 1500 megahertz maybe and get around 6 T-flops. But you're still going to have less RAM, and you've still got to pay $199 for that. You're going to need a decent motherboard. That's $50 to $75 if you're not stupid. You're not going to shortchange yourself. A power supply, that's $25 to $50. A case, that's probably $75 to $150 depending. It goes on and on. I'm just saying, if you got a PC, maybe upgrade your card. If you don't, give Scorpio a try and see if you're satisfied.
Yeah, that's true. But as far as what else do we have?
You're right. A lot of stuff is going to change here in the next year or so in PC gaming. That's for sure. We're seeing a 6 T-flop console. I think a lot of things are changing in a lot of different industries.
Yeah.
I've never seen G-Sync. I've heard a lot of good things about it, though. I'd like to see G-Sync monitors in action. Or FreeSync. I haven't seen either.
Yeah, that's another thing.
There is an 8 gig version, but it's still less than 12 gigs of the Scorpio. How do you think we think 12 gigs? You can look at the motherboard render in the Scorpio reveal trailer, and clearly 12 gigabytes on that motherboard.
Yeah, can we get some more questions in the chat? In regards to what you guys think, so a lot of you guys in the chat are like the PC experts.
Yeah. I would like to see G-Sync and see what that's all about. Pretty cool sounding. But I'm just a dude that plays them both, but I'm just, for some reason or another, just like some of you are just PC guys. I'm just a console guy. Kid Smooth's a console guy. I don't know why.
I don't like the fact that people say consoles hold back PC gaming.
Yes, 12 gigs is for all the system, you're right, but it'll have 9 gigs available to the GPU, and that's without Microsoft going in and optimizing the OS even further. That's still more than 8 gigs.
Like, Diller, what do you think about that? Like, some people are under the impression that consoles have been holding back PC gaming, and I never understood that logic.
I mean, I could understand with maybe the 360 and the PS3 at 0.2 T-flops of performance. Yeah, eventually, they became a detriment. But right now, you've got guys running Fallout 4 at sub 30 FPS, anti-aliased 720p low settings on PC playing that game. And right now, to me, they're the lowest common denominator, not the X1 and PS4 running these games at 1080 medium slash high settings, 30 FPS. So, PC gaming right now, the lowest common denominator is what the developers decide. And of course, they're going for the widest audience, meaning you're getting guys running this stuff on just ridiculously low power technology on the PC side. And it is what it is. Eventually they'll get skewed out and they'll have to upgrade too.
Will you be getting a Neo if it comes out this year? I will, because I need to replace my PlayStation 4.
Yeah, it really is the 60 FPS, man. That is the main thing for me. If I could play everything at 60 FPS, that would be phenomenal. And that's why console guys are excited for Scorpio and Neo, because you're getting 1080 60 max settings with today's games. Now, of course, tomorrow's games, that's a different story maybe, but we'll find out. I know Scorpio's got a bit more headroom according to some of these dev leaks. Those specs, yeah.
And but believe it or not, for those interested in the Neo, I would not assume, if it comes out this year, I wouldn't assume any of like these third-party games or most of these games going to be running actual Neo mode, which will improve over your current PlayStation, because like I said, that to do that itself is more of it's not a hard task, but there's no incentive for the developers to actually do anything to activate it, because the install size for the Neo is going to be so small. So the most they will ever do is up-res.
I don't know about that, because you play on PC, you know how easy it is to change these settings. It's not a new version of the game. Rob Ferguson already said they're ready. They got a 4K patch with better settings ready. They want a Scorpio. It's not as hard as people think. I heard Aaron Greenberg talking about working with some of their third-party developers like CD Projekt Red and The Witcher to potentially patch those games. It's not that hard, and that's kind of the benefit of the UWP, is it does most of the work for them. So I'm not really sure about that. I think we'll see some. The main thing right now is they're wanting all games and multiplayer to run at the same frame rate, which I guess is understandable. But that doesn't mean you won't see better graphics, which really sucks, really, because I like to have 60 FPS everywhere.
So that changes things. As far as I thought with the Scorpio and the videos that I've been doing, was that the Scorpio would be a premium Xbox One that you would be able to get the maximum out of the games or whatever they can push. But if they're going to do that, then that means we might see Scorpio exclusive content. If they're gonna, if like for example, if Titanfall 1 run, like for example, what's 720p 60 frames per second on Xbox One now, and it runs 720p 60 frames on the Scorpio, I don't see where that makes sense. I would hope, or would want to think, that it would take advantage of that to be able to run like whether it be 4K or 1080p 60 frames.
And it's nothing new, guys. I mean, most of you guys in here are PC gamers. You understand how that works. You get what you pay for. And I think developers can make the same important things like character draw distance and things the same on both consoles, which they're not bad at all on X1 and PS4 right now. And of course, you get more particles and things in the Scorpio version, or better resolution. Of course, they're going to do that. They're not going to sell you a $600, $500 console Scorpio and say, "Oh, you're running a 792p like the X1 version is." No, it's not going to happen. So I think we might see the same frame rates in multiplayer, but that's about it. I hope they do patch Fallout 4 with 60 FPS ultra settings, which is ridiculously easy to do with that much power. Same for The Witcher 3. Big games like that, I hope they really go all out and just patch it. Change the settings. Unlock the frame rate. VSync enabled. Really wouldn't be all that hard according to some of these developers.
No reason to own a Neo and a Scorpio.
If you've got a PC, yeah, you're right. Duh. If you got a PC you want to upgrade, sure. Yeah, I agree. Anytime someone launches a console before the other person, that's an instant advantage. 1080 60 ultra settings on the Neo is going to be noticeably better than the PS4 now. You're correct. They're going to have. It's not going to help them. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Somebody said, all I'm saying, if Battlefield 1 is 1080p 60 frames per second on PS Neo this year, Microsoft is over.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I know they sucked a lot of the wind out of Neo sales. Whether we want to admit it or not, they have the numbers. They know they have the better numbers. That's why they're talking numbers. If you remember, they didn't talk numbers with Xbox One. They got the numbers this time. They know they've got the advantage with this, and they say by the time it comes out, they think you'd be on top. Now, whether or not that matters to you, that's up to you. But I'm pretty excited for it. As just a console dude, I'm happy to see finally what I'm seeing on PC on console. I think it's good.
Yeah, at the end of the day, when it comes to PC, PlayStation, and Xbox, it's all about preference. It's all about preference at the end of the day. That's why I get sick and tired when people say, oh, why you have Xbox and PC, or why do you still play your Xbox if you got a PC? It's all about preference at the end of the day. Like, it's not, like I said, I'm not I haven't been really a performance here. I'd admit in the past I love graphics. I was never about resolution, but I was always about graphics.
Mm-hmm.
And like me getting a PC wasn't to get a better resolution or anything. It was because I didn't know where Microsoft was headed with some of these games, and I was like, you know what? Let me try out what this what PC gaming was about. I already had a PC; it wasn't capable of gaming, and I needed to get rid of it before it died out. And I was like, well, why not build something that's capable of gaming? And I was like, and I'll go towards some of those games that I'm not really ready to buy on Xbox, and I'll get them on like a PC or something like that at a cheaper rate and see what it's all about. Seeing what it's all about, it's cool, but I still dedicate a lot of time on my Xbox. It's not going to change until every game is available on like PC. Like, there's still games, like simple games, if people want to shoot me down for this, I still can't play NBA Live on PC. Until like last I checked, you can't play Halo 5 on PC. So I mean,
You might be able to soon. Fuck. But either way, if you're a console guy, you're not gonna, you're gonna want games on your console. So I still call certain games console exclusives. I still call Street Fighter V an exclusive to PS4. It's a console exclusive. Meanwhile, you got 4 AAA console exclusives coming out from Microsoft this year. And if you're a console guy, you're in a different realm. You're not on YouTube talking about this. You're just sitting home in front of your TV playing your fucking games. And Tony, man, you can't declare anything fact. You just can't. I didn't see this generation going this way. People do dumb shit. You never know. Neo could come out and catch on fire. Scorpio could come out and catch on fire. We don't know. So nothing's set in stone. PS4 Neo is going to have an edge if it comes out this year. That's common sense. And it is what it is. I'm waiting for the Scorpio. I've seen several comments that saying they gladly wait for the Scorpio. So we'll have to wait and see.
yeah, they're
Yes, you will be able to play Gears 4 on PC, and you can play with your Xbox friends, you can play with your PC friends, co-op on all that stuff.
But keep in mind, it's co-op that you can play with PC players. You won't be able to play competitively with PC guys. And for those who are hyped to get it on PC and you're into multiplayer, good luck, because the Gears of War 4 multiplayer on PC will only last about a week.
I don't know about that, but
no, really. Play Ultimate Edition now on PC. Play it now.
Like I said, it's definitely a smaller user base. It is what it is. I mean, that's just a fact. And no, we're not saying that Scorpio will run everything 1080-60. We use 1080-60 because that's the minimal that you'll see. So, I mean, as you know, 60 flops is more than capable of running any game today at 1440p 60 Ultra, in my experience. So I think the minimal we'll see is 1080-60, and I think developers know only 5% or so have 4K displays to take advantage of that. So I think we'll see lower resolutions in favor of maximum settings, 60 FPS, and then they scale the resolution up depending on how far they can go. Just one asshole's opinion, though. But anyways, fellas, we're about to wrap this shit up. Thanks for joining with us and giving us some shit. And Just two assholes' opinions.
Yes. So yeah, that's we went to just shed some light on this because, like I said, the new movement, or I guess the cool thing to do is to replace your Xbox with a PC. And remember, guys, if if you've been rocking on Xbox since 2013,
yes, you can hook your PS4 controller up to a PC.
and you've been rocking your with Xbox 360 since launch. Remember, you got a bunch of titles, a bunch of games that's not going to follow you when you sell your Xbox and you build a PC. Your games aren't just going to magically appear on your PC. It doesn't work that way. And I was like, I'm not a fan of rebuilding my library. Sure, if I was thinking of getting a console this year and stuff like that, and I knew I was going for a power.
We're opinionated. Get the fuck out of here if you don't like it. Jesus Christ.
I will wait either a year for Scorpio, or I'll build a PC with the future games. But being in the position I am now, having over 100 games on my console, and just to get rid of it, get rid of my library for the game on PC for a few games, yeah, not happening. But we're gonna shut it down. Thanks for listening to our opinion. And
it's important to reiterate that just opinion, guys. Christ.
Yeah, to listen to our opinion. Shouts out to Dealer. If you're not subscribed to him, please do, but I'm pretty sure you are. And give us a like, even though we're gonna get most dislikes since most of you guys are anti-Xbox.
It's cool. It's cool. It don't matter, man. It's just for fun. But thanks for rocking out with us, fellas.
Yep. As always,
especially to you that actually had like real comments about things that we might know a little bit about, maybe just very little that we know. Yeah, you can use PlayStation 4 controllers on PC, things like that. Yeah, thanks for.
But everybody know the best controller to use on the PC is either Xbox 360 controller or Xbox One controller, then the Steam controller. I'm sorry, that DualShock is not getting any love on it.
Trust me, Tony. I'm gonna wait for Scorpio. I'm not a Sony dude. I'm not at all. So.
All right, but as I always say, Xbox is the best box. I am the best bot. Good evening. Thank you guys for watching. We are logging out for the night.
See you guys later.